What if one summer could change the rest of your life? What if the choices you make under the warm glow of the sun follow you forever, shaping your future in ways you never imagined? The Summer I Turned Pretty is more than just a love story. It's about heartbreak, family, growing up, and realizing that summers don't last forever. And now, with Season 4 on the horizon, fans are asking, what comes next? The trailer has dropped, and it's giving us hints of a story filled with nostalgia, conflict, and unforgettable moments. But before we dive into what Season 4 promises, let's step back for a moment and remember where it all began, and most importantly, where Season 3 left us hanging. Season 3 was a roller coaster of emotions, carrying all the familiar warmth of Cousins Beach, but also layering it with heartbreak and decisions that will shape every character moving forward. For Belly, the girl at the center of it all, this was the season that tested her heart like never before. The love triangle between Conrad and Jeremiah wasn't just about who she loved more, it was about who she was becoming. She had to learn what it means to choose for herself, to grow beyond the dreamy summers of childhood and face the reality that love isn't always simple. The season began with Belly caught between her past and her future. Conrad, reserved and complicated, had always been the quiet pull on her heart, the one she couldn't quite let go of. Jeremiah, on the other hand, represented joy, laughter, and a future that seemed less heavy, less complicated. The audience watched as Belly struggled with guilt, with longing, and with the fear of hurting someone she truly cared for. But Season 3 wasn't only about romance. It was about family too. The loss of Susanna Fisher, the heart of Cousins Beach, hung heavy over everyone. Her absence was felt in every scene, every glance, every decision. The Fisher boys, Conrad and Jeremiah, were not just fighting for Belly's love, but also fighting their own grief. And Belly, being so close to them and their family, was pulled into that emotional storm. We saw scenes where Belly questioned if she even belonged in their world anymore. If the magical summers of the past had already ended, Cousins Beach, once a place of innocent joy, now carried the weight of memory and pain. And yet, it also became the backdrop where Belly had to grow, where she had to finally see that her story was bigger than just choosing between two brothers. The season gave us moments of tenderness, quiet talks on the beach, late-night confessions, stolen glances that said more than words ever could, but it also gave us heartbreak. Misunderstandings grew into fights. Love turned into confusion. Trust was broken, rebuilt, and then broken again. Each episode layered more tension, pushing Belly toward a decision that could not be avoided by the time the season drew to its close. The stakes had never been higher. Conrad's guarded nature finally cracked, showing glimpses of his deep love for Belly, but also his fear of losing her. Jeremiah, always the one who wore his heart on his sleeve, fought harder than ever to prove that he was the one who could give Belly the happiness she deserved, and Belly, torn, conflicted, and overwhelmed, had to face the truth. Her summer of dreams was now a summer of decisions. The finale left us all with more questions than answers. Who does Belly truly love? Has she grown strong enough to stand by her choice, no matter the cost? And what does that choice mean for the Fisher family, for Cousins Beach, and for the memories of summers past? Season 3 ended with echoes of love and loss, with promises of a future yet to be written. It wasn't just a conclusion, it was a doorway to the next chapter, one that the Season 4 trailer has now opened wide. And as we look ahead, we can already feel that this new summer will not just revisit old wounds, but will test every bond, every memory, and every dream these characters hold dear. The very first seconds of the season for trailer carry a kind of magic that only The Summer I Turned Pretty can capture. It begins not with words, but with images. The familiar golden light of Cousins Beach, the soft sound of waves crashing against the shore, and the subtle laughter of voices we've all come to know so well. Instantly, we are transported back to that world where summer feels eternal, but also fragile. The mood is both nostalgic and uncertain, like looking at a photograph of a perfect moment while knowing that life has already moved beyond it. The trailer does something brilliant. It mixes warmth with tension. On one hand, we see shots that remind us of everything we love about Cousins. Sunlit mornings, the soft glow of evenings, The house that has become a symbol of love, family, and loss. But on the other hand, there are shadows, longer pauses, and looks that hold more weight than ever before. You can feel that this season isn't just about reliving memories. It's about confronting truths. Belly's presence is front and center. She walks along the beach in one shot, her eyes scanning the horizon. It's almost as if she's searching for something she isn't sure she'll find. In another moment, we see her surrounded by familiar faces. But her expression is quieter, heavier, like she's carrying the weight of decisions still unfinished. The trailer makes it clear. Belly's journey this season isn't only about love, but about identity, about who she is becoming after everything she has been through. Then come Conrad and Jeremiah. The trailer wastes no time reminding us of the tension that has always defined their story. Conrad appears in flashes, his face calm but troubled, his gaze often looking away, lost in thought. Jeremiah, by contrast, is more open, more expressive, reaching out in ways that feel immediate and raw. The editing cuts between them, almost like the trailer itself is asking the question we all can't escape. Who does Belly truly belong with? But beyond the love triangle, there are moments that feel different. Hints that this season is digging deeper into themes of family, growth, and closure. One brief clip shows Laurel, Belly's mother, sitting quietly with a distant look in her eyes, reminding us that the adults in this story are just as affected by change as the kids are. Another shot lingers on Stephen, Belly's brother, who seems more grown, more protective, perhaps signaling that his role will be bigger this time. And then there's Cousins Beach itself. For 3 seasons, this place has been more than just a setting. It's been a character in its own right. In the Season 4 trailer, Cousins looks both familiar and changed. The warm colors are there, but so are cooler tones, a sign that this summer might carry endings as much as beginnings. We see glimpses of the beach house, a place that has held countless memories. But there's a subtle feeling in the way it's filmed, like it might not always be theirs, like it could be slipping away. The music layered over the trailer ties everything together. It starts soft, almost delicate, with notes that make you feel like you're falling back into a memory. But as the images build, as Belly looks torn, as Conrad and Jeremiah appear in tense silence, as families gather under the weight of unspoken words, the music rises. It becomes heavier, more emotional, hinting that this season won't just be about lighthearted summer days, but about decisions that could change everything by the end of the trailer's opening sequence. One thing is clear, this season will not just be another chapter. It will be the chapter that forces everyone to confront what they've been avoiding. Belly's gaze, Conrad's silence, Jeremiah's openness, and the bittersweet beauty of Cousins Beach all come together to tell us that this summer will test them in ways they've never faced before. The trailer doesn't need to give away much. It doesn't need to spoil the plot. Instead, it captures a feeling, a bittersweet mix of longing, love, and inevitability. It makes us realize that while summers may feel endless, they always come to an end. And for Belly, Conrad, Jeremiah, and everyone tied to Cousins Beach, this might be the most defining summer of their lives. At the heart of the summer I turned pretty has always been Belly Conklin, the girl whose summers at Cousins Beach transformed her from a child into someone standing at the edge of adulthood. And in the Season 4 trailer, it's clear. Belly is no longer the same girl we met in Season 1. She carries the weight of everything she's lived through, the choices, the heartbreak, the love, the loss, and this time. The question isn't just who she will love, but who she will become. The trailer opens small glimpses into Belly's mind without spelling everything out. We see her walking alone on the beach, her eyes fixed on the horizon, her face calm but heavy, almost as if she's wrestling with unspoken thoughts. For 3 seasons, Belly has been torn between 2 brothers, Conrad and Jeremiah, and the emotions that tie her to both of them. But Season 4 suggests something deeper. Maybe this isn't just about choosing between 2 people. Maybe it's about choosing herself. In Season 3, we saw Belly at her most conflicted. Every decision she made seemed to pull her further into a storm, Conrad with his quiet, aching love that left her uncertain, and Jeremiah with his open devotion that promised safety but also pressure. And at times it felt like Belly's voice was lost in all the noise. She was being pulled back and forth, not only by the brothers, but also by her own guilt, her own fears, her own longing for a summer that could never return. But in the Season 4 trailer, there are signs that Belly is stronger now. In one shot, she looks directly at Conrad, her eyes steady, no longer filled with confusion, but with determination. In another, she faces Jeremiah, listening but not immediately swept away. These moments hint at growth. Belly may finally be learning that her heart doesn't just belong to someone else's story. It belongs to her own. There's also a subtle shift in her energy. For the first time, Belly doesn't look like the girl caught in the middle. She looks like the girl at the center of her own journey. The trailer shows her surrounded by friends and family. But there's always a space carved out for her. A reminder that her decisions and her voice will shape the future of everyone around her. It's not just about romance anymore. It's about leadership, maturity, and finding strength in the face of endings. Still, growth never comes without pain. The trailer suggests that Belly's next chapter won't be an easy one. We see her crying in one brief flash, her face lit by the soft glow of a summer night. We see her turning away from someone, walking off with tears in her eyes. These moments remind us that growing up often means breaking your own heart, letting go of comfort, and stepping into the unknown. But what makes Belly's journey so powerful is that she's relatable. Everyone knows what it feels like to stand on the edge of something, afraid to move forward but unable to go back. Everyone has faced choices that feel impossible, where every outcome carries both joy and pain. And that's what the Season 4 trailer captures. Belly standing at the edge of change, no longer running from it, but finally preparing to face it. One of the most telling moments in the trailer is a line of dialogue. A quiet voiceover where Belly says something like, "I can't keep holding on to the past." It's short, almost whispered, but it speaks volumes. For 3 seasons, Belly has been defined by the summers she shared with Conrad and Jeremiah, by the memories of innocence, first love, and the magic of cousins. But now, she seems ready to step beyond those memories, to stop clinging to what once was, and to finally ask, what do I want for myself? This shift doesn't mean the love story disappears. In fact, it makes it more meaningful. Because when Belly finally knows who she is, her choice between Conrad and Jeremiah will no longer be about fear or guilt or longing for a simpler time. It will be about truth. And the trailer suggests that this truth might not be easy, but it will be real in many ways. Season 4 feels like Belly's transformation from the girl who turned pretty to the woman who learned to stand on her own. The beaches of Cousins have seen her laugh, cry, fall in love, and break apart. But now, as the waves crash against the shore and the sunsets glow with bittersweet light, they will witness her greatest change yet, Belly finally stepping into herself. And so, as the trailer closes its early focus on her, we're left with one clear feeling. This isn't just the next chapter in Belly's love story. It's the next chapter in her life story. A chapter filled with decisions, with courage, and with the kind of growth that only comes when you realize that summers may end, but the person you've become will stay with you forever, for 3 seasons. The story of The Summer I Turned Pretty has revolved around more than just a summer romance. At its core, it has been about 2 brothers, Conrad and Jeremiah Fisher, and the love they share, not just for Belly, but for their family, their memories, and for each other, even when that love is tested. And in the Season 4 trailer, the conflict between these 2 brothers feels more raw. It's more painful and more inevitable than ever before. The trailer wastes no time reminding us of who these brothers are. Conrad, with his quiet intensity, appears in lingering shots that speak volumes even without words. His eyes carry that same guarded sadness, the same hesitance to open his heart. Yet beneath it all, there is an ache, a deep longing that refuses to fade. Jeremiah, on the other hand, bursts with emotion. His voice is louder, his gestures more open, his love for Belly written on his face with no attempt to hide it. Where Conrad holds back, Jeremiah steps forward. Where Conrad is silence, Jeremiah is expression. It's this contrast that has always torn. Belly in two, the safety of Jeremiah's warmth and the pull of Conrad's depth. And now, in Season 4, the trailer suggests that this conflict is reaching a breaking point. One of the most striking moments comes in a split-second scene where Jeremiah confronts Conrad. Their voices aren't even heard, but the way they stand, tense, unyielding, and locked in each other's gaze tells us everything. This is no longer just a rivalry quietly simmering beneath the surface. It's out in the open. The trailer teases us with that tension, reminding us that love doesn't just bring people together. Sometimes it tears families apart. But what makes this conflict so heartbreaking is that Conrad and Jeremiah aren't just rivals. They're brothers. They've shared a lifetime of memories, summers at cousins, laughter, and loss. They both carry Susanna's love in their hearts, and they both grieve her absence in their own ways. Yet when it comes to Belly, their grief collides with their longing, and it creates cracks in their bond that may never fully heal. The trailer also suggests that Jeremiah, who has often been seen as the lighter, more carefree of the two, might be stepping into a more serious role. There's a moment where we see him speaking with a rare intensity, his face set with determination. It's as if he's finally tired of being the second choice. He's finally ready to fight not only for Belly, but for his own place in this story. For Jeremiah, Season 4 may be the summer where he refuses to be overlooked. Conrad, meanwhile, is harder to read. The trailer shows him with Belly in moments that feel both intimate and fragile. In one clip, he glances at her with an expression that could mean regret or longing or perhaps both. In another, he walks away, his figure swallowed by the dimming light of evening, as if he's once again choosing silence over confession. This silence is what makes Conrad so compelling and so frustrating. His love runs deep, but his fear of loss, his inability to fully open up, threatens to cost him everything. The tension between them is not just about who Belly chooses. It's about what kind of love she wants, the passionate but complicated depth of Conrad, or the open-hearted, steady devotion of Jeremiah. The trailer frames this choice as something monumental, something that will define not only Belly's path but the bond between the brothers themselves. Because whichever way she leans, someone will be left behind, and that is the tragedy of this conflict. It's not about winners and losers. It's about the price of love, the cost of choosing one heart over another, and the pain of watching a family divided by something they both desperately want. Still, the trailer leaves space for tenderness. We see brief flashes where the brothers stand side by side, their grief and love for Susanna still binding them even through the tension. There are glimpses of laughter, of shared moments that remind us they are not only rivals, but also brothers who love each other in ways they can't escape. It's this delicate balance, rivalry mixed with brotherhood, that makes their story so powerful and so heartbreaking. As the trailer closes on their conflict, one thing is clear. Season 4 will push Conrad and Jeremiah further apart than ever before. But it may also reveal what truly binds them. Belly's choice will not just shape her own future. It will shape the future of the Fisher brothers, their relationship, and the legacy of the summers they once shared. This is no longer just a love triangle. It's a test of family, of loyalty, and of how much love can endure when desire pulls in opposite directions. And as the trailer shows us, this summer may be the one that changes everything for Belly, for Conrad, and for Jeremiah. If the love triangle is the heart of the summer I turned pretty, then family and friendship are its soul. From the very beginning, Cousins Beach has never just been about romance. It has been about the families who come together each summer, about the friendships that have lasted for years, and about the ties that can be tested but never fully broken. And in the Season 4 trailer, this theme is more present than ever. The first sign comes not from Belly, Conrad, or Jeremiah, but from the people around them. The trailer shows Laurel, Belly's mother, sitting in a quiet room, her eyes heavy with thought. For 3 seasons, Laurel has been a grounding presence, strong, sharp, and protective. She has carried her family through storms, supported Belly in ways that only a mother can, and faced her own grief in the wake of Susanna's death. Now in Season 4, the trailer suggests that Laurel's journey isn't over. There is a weariness in her face, but also strength. as if she is preparing to guide her daughter through choices that will define not just her love life, but her future. Then there's Stephen, Belly's older brother. For much of the series, Stephen has been the comic relief, the teasing sibling, the one who adds lightness when things feel too heavy. But the trailer hints at a more mature Stephen. We see him speaking in a serious moment, his expression protective, maybe even worried. He looks less like the boy who once joked his way through summer and more like a young man who realizes that family responsibilities are shifting onto his shoulders. His growth may surprise us this season, adding another layer to the family dynamic. The Fisher family, of course, remains at the core of the story. Susanna's absence lingers like a shadow, but it also brings everyone closer together. The trailer gives us glimpses of the Fisher home filled with quiet moments, a dinner table where no one speaks, a porch where memories feel too close to ignore, and a beach where laughter doesn't sound quite the same as before. Yet there are also moments of joy, small smiles, inside jokes, and gestures of love that remind us that family bonds don't end with loss. They bend, they stretch, but they hold. Friendship also plays a central role in Season 4, and the trailer makes sure we don't forget it. Taylor, Belly's best friend, appears with her usual spark. In one clip, she's laughing with Belly under the sun, and in another, she looks serious, almost like she's giving advice. Taylor has always been the voice that pushes Belly to see herself clearly, sometimes with brutal honesty, sometimes with playful teasing. In Season 4, her role seems to be more than just comic relief. She looks like someone who will help Belly face the truth, even when it hurts. The theme of friendship extends beyond just Belly and Taylor. The trailer shows groups of friends gathered together, Stephen with his circle, Jeremiah with people who brighten his world, and Conrad standing slightly apart, as if friendship is harder for him to reach. These small glimpses suggest that this season will remind us that love isn't the only bond worth fighting for. Friendships matter just as much, especially when romance threatens to break everything apart. There's also the unspoken friendship between the families themselves. Laurel and Susanna's bond, though ended by tragedy, continues to shape everyone left behind. Their children carry that legacy, and in many ways, Season 4 looks like it will explore how those connections ripple forward. The quiet respect, the shared memories, the way Cousins Beach itself holds all their laughter and grief, it's all there in the trailer. Woven into the background of every scene, what makes these family and friendship themes so powerful is that they ground the story. While the love triangle grabs attention, it's these deeper bonds that give it meaning. Belly's choices matter not only because of who she loves, but because of how those choices affect her family, her friends, and the people she has grown up with. Conrad and Jeremiah's rivalry matters not just because of Belly, but because they are brothers who love each other in spite of their conflict. Every heartbreak is doubled, every joy is sweeter, because it's shared among people who feel like a family. The trailer captures this perfectly with a montage, laughter around a bonfire, hands reaching out in comfort, a hug that lingers just a little longer than usual. These moments remind us that no matter how complicated love gets, family and friendship are the threads that hold the tapestry together. Without them, Cousins Beach wouldn't be the same. So as Season 4 begins to unfold, the trailer makes it clear. This isn't just about who ends up with who. It's about the people who stand beside you when everything falls apart. The people who make summer feel like home, and the people who remind you that even when love is messy, family and friendship can carry you through. What if love doesn't just bring happiness, but also heartbreak? In Season 4, the story of Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah becomes more complicated than ever. For years, fans have debated should Belly end up with Conrad, her first love, or Jeremiah, the one who always stood by her. The series has never made the answer simple, and that's exactly why viewers keep coming back. Season 4 promises to turn up the heat on this love triangle, giving us both moments of passion and moments of painful truth. Conrad has always been the one who hides his feelings, keeping his love for Belly deep inside until the right moment. But as we've seen before, his silence often causes pain, leaving Belly unsure if she can fully trust him with her heart. On the other hand, Jeremiah has always been open, honest, and full of energy. He tells Belly what he feels without hesitation, making her feel wanted and safe. Yet, sometimes his open heart makes him vulnerable to rejection. In Season 4, both brothers will make choices that will affect not only Belly's future, but also their bond as siblings. Can love survive when it tears apart the people you care about most? The series is expected to bring back powerful emotional scenes where Belly is forced to look at her heart and ask, "What do I really want? And who will stand beside me when life gets hard?" But here's the twist. This season isn't just about romance. It's about growing up and learning that love isn't always perfect. It can be messy, it can hurt, and it can force you to choose between what feels right in the moment and what lasts forever. The writers are pushing Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah to their limits, showing us that sometimes the hardest part of love is realizing that someone might get left behind. The tension between Conrad and Jeremiah is also expected to reach a breaking point. They've always been brothers first, but when it comes to Belly, that bond weakens. Season 4 could finally show the moment when their love for Belly changes their relationship forever. Will they fight to protect their family connection, or will their rivalry destroy what once made them unbreakable? The trailer hints at long stares, quiet tears, and words left unsaid moments that carry more power than shouting ever could. And through it all, Belly is caught in the middle, forced to carry the weight of two hearts while protecting her own. Fans will see her torn between the calm but distant Conrad and the warm but unpredictable Jeremiah, making the question of who will Belly choose more urgent than ever before. This love triangle isn't just about picking a boy, it's about choosing a future. Belly's decision will shape not only her life, but also the Fisher family's story. Every stolen glance, every shared smile, and every broken promise will push her closer to the truth. And when the moment of choice finally comes, one heart will win, another will break. The stage is set for some of the most emotional episodes in the entire series. Love, loss, and the fear of making the wrong decision will all collide in Season 4. Fans should prepare for heartbreak, joy, and maybe even a shocking twist that no one saw coming. Because in Cousins Beach, summer love is never simple, it's a storm that changes everything.